Alright, so it is currently March 22nd, 2024, and I have still not talked about my February 2024 movies ranked list because it's just, again, been a really busy month for me. March has had so many stacked movies. Dune 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, I'm going to see Ghostbusters tomorrow, of course, Godzilla times Kong. So a whole bunch of those. I've been watching other movies, and so it's been kind of hard to get this one out. Plus, the month of February sucked. The month of February was freaking awful for movies. Like, this was the worst month in the history of my channel for movies. Seriously. Like, there was not a single movie here that I would say is going to be in my top 30 of the year. Maybe my number one. Maybe. That's how bad of a month this was. So I was kind of putting off this video, but today we're going to talk about some bad movies. If you want to hear that and so many more videos, they're also on my channel. If you like it, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell to never miss another video. And before I get started, comment down below, what is your ranking of the February 2024 movies you saw? Do you think it was an atrocity dumpster fire of a month like I did? I want to know all that and more. And with that said, coming in last place is not Madam Web. It's Drive Away Dolls. Drive Away Dolls. Has anybody seen Drive Away Dolls? Probably not. I did, and it was a terrible mistake. This movie is so freaking controversial, in my opinion, because so much of it seems like it could be fun. It's only 80 minutes, so it's an in-and-out movie. With so many movies that are 3 hours, 80 minutes is awesome for a movie, and that's what this was. So I was in and I was out instantly. That's awesome. There are a couple plot lines here that I think could have been interesting. There's a plot twist here that I think could have been funny in the right context. But the movie is just so intended on trying to be a lesbian rom-com and having lesbian sex scenes every 10 minutes that it unfocuses on actually being a movie. The thing that I can describe this movie with is porn with a plot. That is what this is. There's nothing else that this movie is except porn with a plot, and it is not good for that reason. So we start off the movie, and there's this stupid scene with Pedro Pascal. He's in it for 1 minute, and so yeah, he's in it, he dies, and then we get to, oh look, a lesbian sex scene. So the whole thing is two lesbians, they go drive on a road trip, and one lesbian, she's more of like a exciting person or whatever, and she is just trying her hardest to get the other one to get laid. And so, not even that, she's trying her hardest to get the other one to get laid with her. That's the whole movie. The main character arc says, hey girl, you look stressful. Let's make you have sex. And while you do it, have sex with me. That is the plot of the movie. Everything else is put on the back burner. Everything that could have been interesting, like, say, the actual plot about them finding a bag and these criminals trying to catch them, all that's put on the back burner because the movie just wants to show you titties the whole movie. That's all the movie wants to show you. Seriously, this is directed by a Coen brother. I'm not going to say which because the trailer did not want to tell you which. And so it's just, it's bad. It is everything about the movie that could have been unique or interesting or fun is bad. The movie is 80 minutes and it shouldn't have even been that long because sure, it was in and out. But so much of the movie, like I'd say a solid 10 minutes is these people just sitting back and there's colors flying in front of their face and you can see the face and these stupid random images like a naked lady jumping into a pool. That is what this movie is. Like, I can't tell you how much I was on my phone during the middle of this movie because it was just so bad, and if I could take it back and not see it in a theater, I definitely would because it was truly bad. Don't watch this movie. Please don't watch this movie. And not much better, we're moving on to Madam Web. And yeah, the movie it's fun, honestly. I had fun watching this movie. It wasn't like Drive Away Dolls where I was just frustrated the whole time. It wasn't like my next movie where I'll talk about it. I would much rather watch this movie over what's next on this list, if we're being honest. Because it's just watchable. It's got a whole ton of fun scenes. The cast is likable, even though none of them are trying in this movie. It's just so funny to watch. It's so laughably bad that I had a blast sitting in the theater and watching it. And I know that a lot of you think it's boring, but I thought it was pretty fun. It was watchable. It wasn't Morbius, that's for sure. But golly, this script is terrible. This is the worst movie script I've ever seen in my entire life. Possibly. Nothing makes sense. Nothing at all. There's this plot line about Dakota Johnson's character kidnapping these girls. And so when she kidnaps the girls, she's able to buy a plane ticket to Brazil 2 years after 9/11, where airport security would be at its most. Like, nothing makes sense. It's like the people got high on crack. The scriptwriters got high on crack and decided, oh, you know what would be funny? If she went to Brazil to meet the random spider people that saved her life and gave her random powers that she couldn't get until she fell from a building to death, but she survived because we gave her a spider and she has powers. That is what this movie is. That is what the script is. It's terrible. It's a terrible script. Like, nothing makes sense at all. And it's so fun. It's fun to talk about this movie, honestly, because the stuff that happens in this movie blows my freaking mind. Like, it's crazy. It is absolutely wild, the stuff that happens in here. It's definitely a movie that I had a blast with. If I was legally able to get drunk and watch this movie, that would be a really fun time. But I'm not legally able to get drunk and watch this movie, so I'm stuck with the numbed down version of it. But it's still a fun movie. It's still much more watchable than the ones I had. But it's not a good movie. No, it's not. It's just fun to watch because it's just it's so dumb and it's so fun. It's not good, but it is something else. Then we got Lisa Frankenstein in our third place spot, and Lisa Frankenstein, to me, is a movie, like I said, I'd much rather watch Madam Web over. It's in this spot because the first, let's say, 45 minutes to an hour of this movie, I was bored out of my mind, let me tell you. This movie looked like something that could maybe not be made for me, but at the same time, I like Edward Scissorhands, which was and I love Jennifer's Body, which is a lot of things that people were comparing this movie to. I love those movies. I thought it would be made for me after hearing that comparison, but it was just so boring. There's nothing interesting happening in the movie at all. And then the movie goes sick and twisted to where she starts murdering her mother and all these people that it got interesting. It got entertaining. It got crazy, a little wild here and there. And so it became a much more watchable film. And it's not boring after that part, that's for sure. There's some crazy ideas. The movie fully goes for it. The cast here is phenomenal, specifically Catherine Newton. She is absolutely incredible in this movie and is just she's just a great actor in general, so she's fun in here. But again, I just don't think I'd ever watch this movie again. I'd much rather watch Madam Web over this movie. Heck, I'd probably even watch Driveway Dolls over this movie, because at least only I would watch like a half an hour of the movie because of how many sex scenes it has that I'm just gonna skip over if I ever decide to get high on crack and watch the movie again, because that's how it would have to be to watch that movie. We're getting sidetracked. So Lisa Frankenstein, because the first 45 minutes was just so dull and so boring, and even after thinking about it, a couple days later, I was just thinking like, you know, that movie was messed up, but at the same time, it leaves a sour taste in its mouth. Because Lisa is not a likable character whatsoever. She's played phenomenally by Catherine Newton. I think she's phenomenal there. But she's just not likable. Because there's this happy family of three, you know. And you really like the cheerleader daughter, because it's not like she's this typical cheerleader jerk douchebag where she's like, oh yeah, you can't hang with us. She really cares for Lisa. And so Lisa just takes away the mother. And so you just feel bad watching this character of the stepsister just get absolutely screwed over in every aspect of where her mom dies, her boyfriend gets his dick chopped off, and so many crazy things like that. It just leaves a sour taste in its mouth. And so even though it's unique, it gets entertaining to watch a little bit. Definitely not something I'd ever decide to sit down and recheck out, because it's just It's so bizarre, and it's just not very good. Second place, we're gonna go with Orion in the Dark. This, let's say the three of those movies are all the way down here. Here, let me show you. It's a mess on the floor. All right, the three movies are all the way down here. All right, all the way down here, and these two movies right here are. Let's see if that camera angle works. Good. The three movies are all the way up here. They're right here, so that's like a big gap. This is uncomfortable. I'm gonna stop doing this now. Okay. Anyways, Orion in the Dark, it's not perfect, but I think it was fun. I think the movie would really be great if it was like a half an hour short film on Netflix. I would never watch it if that was that, because it's just not something that would peak to me. But there's the idea here about all these beings in the dark. All of them have a different way to get you to put to sleep. And I think that's just really unique and interesting in this movie. And the movie's just charming. There's a charming sense here to where it just puts a smile on your face. It's teaching children not to be scared of the dark. That's what this movie is. And again, if it was a half an hour, 45-minute short film, it would really excel in that. The thing is, this movie tries way too hard to make it an hour and a half when it really didn't have to be. So hard, in fact, to where it makes up this conflict to where Dark, all of a sudden, he gets mad because everybody wants to become a light being after the kid learns not to be dark, to where he likes the dark then, and then he switches back up. So he likes him, and then, oh no, he's back. Psych! He likes the light again, and he tells everybody that he likes the light, and then the dark just kills himself. This is a kid's movie. The dark kills himself, yes. And so he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna die. And he does. And then, so everybody, there's an apocalypse because the moon's gone, the dark's gone. And so it's just a conflict that didn't need to be made, again, because it just kind of contradicts the whole story. And so instantly after that, it gets kind of back on track, gets a couple interesting ideas to where then they fix it. And we're at the hour and 15 mark. We fix that. It should be done. No, because all of a sudden, it's, right here I should mention, I do like the fact that it's just a parent telling their kids a story to get the kids to not be scared of the dark. I thought that was a really charming thing for the movie to do. And, I thought there were some really charming things there. But the movie all of a sudden after that decides to, let's go even further in the future to where the daughter that was getting told the story at the beginning is now telling the story to her son, and then the grandpa, and then the dark, and whoa, what is happening? And then all of a sudden they decide to go on this really big tangent to where a time traveler from the future comes back in time to save this one little girl, and then they're like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go. And then, yeah, so, and then it stays on that bizarre plot line for like 15 minutes until it all resolves, and it's like, why was that there? What the heck just happened? Why are we going over those plot lines now? And it's to fill out time. There's nothing significant about that. It just goes way overboard. I think the movie would be much better, again, if it was 45 minutes long. I thought it would have been charming and just really cute, but the movie itself it's pretty good. It just doesn't deserve to be a movie. There's not enough there to be a movie. But there's some things here that deserve to be something. This is a story that is worth telling, but not in an hour and a half feature-length film. Easily in first place is Argyle. There's no doubt about it. The first hour, I'd say, is the least interesting. It's not as entertaining, but Matthew Vaughn really shows up in the second hour and a half. Matthew Vaughn is a great director, in my opinion. No matter how bizarre and how stupid his movies go, and how much I don't want him to direct the next James Bond movie, I still think he's a great director. All of the movies he makes are just fun, entertaining, really enjoyable. In my opinion, there's not a single one I would give a super low negative score to, and this is another one in that case, because the movie, sure, people could say it goes overboard. Sure, they could say the 52 plot twist is a little bit overboard. I thought they all worked. I'm not gonna lie, I think they all work pretty well. And I just really did have a blast with the film. all these action sequences. One that involves skating in oil on the boat. I think that one was just a really big blast. The cast here I think is great. I cannot stand Bryce Dallas Howard, and she was great in the movie. She really was. Everybody in here was great. The twist, the main twist on who the real Agent Argyle is, I think was phenomenal. And this is a movie that me and my dad can go see, and we both say, yeah, that one was really fun, really good. There's not a lot of movies that me and my dad go to the theater to see that we can both agree, hey, that was a good movie. There was like this one and Expendables 4, believe it or not. I did enjoy Expendables 4. But it's just one of those movies that, it's a dad movie. It's not a family movie, but it's a father-son action movie, or a date movie. That can be something too. But that's a movie that I found to be really fun and really enjoyable, and I really dug it, and it's easily #1. There, I'm done talking about the terrible month that was February. Please, don't ever make a month as bad as that. March is looking much better. I've seen 3 movies, I believe. Let's see. Dune Part 2, Damsel, and Kung Fu Panda 4. Do plan on watching Spaceman, Roadhouse, and Ricky Stenicki if I get time. I might have to skip out on Ricky Stenicki and Spaceman because of how busy of a month it's being. But yes, that was my ranking of the February movies. Stay tuned. Upcoming next will probably be either a Denis Villeneuve ranking or a Kung Fu Panda 4, Roadhouse, and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire combined review because I'm really behind on videos. But thank you guys for clicking on this one. And with that said, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell, and comment down below what is your ranking of February 2024's movies. And with that said, subscribe, join the Nerd Army. Peace out.